President Trump's tax reform plan was unveiled by Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and National Economic Council Director Gary Cohn. He is a registered Democrat and the former president and chief operating officer of Goldman Sachs. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Do you have the votes for health care?
Do we have the votes for health care? I think we do. This is going to be a great week. We're going to get health care down to the floor of the House. We're convinced we've got the votes, and we're going to keep moving on with our agenda. As you said, we just rolled out our tax plan last week. We're very excited about our tax plan as well. So we're going to continue to drive President Trump's agenda forward.
But you rolled it out with one page. I mean, when will we see the details and the remainder of it so you'll have some sense of between cuts and where the revenue might be increased?
So, Charlie, as you said, we did roll it out with one page. And we rolled out with one page for a specific reason. We want to get enormous amount of input before we draft the final bill. When we deliver the final bill, we are going to have a bill that is bought into by the House and the Senate. You've just been talking about how difficult it is to get things through Congress. We understand how difficult it is to get things through Congress, and you were talking about how it's designed to be difficult. We understand that. We're going to make this tax bill work, and the way to make the tax bill work is to work with Congress before we draft the bill, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
Right now, there seems to be a lot of conversation about how it's very helpful to the wealthy, but what about the middle class, Gary?
This is a middle-class tax bill.
How
it's
so?
a middle and lower-class tax bill. That's exactly what's designed. I really am confused why people don't understand what we're doing here. If you look at what we've done, we've doubled the personal exemption in this bill. We've taken the personal exemption for a family of two to $24,000. The median income in the United States today is somewhere between $56,000. You take the $24,000 away from the $56,000, you've got taxable income of $32,000. At a 10% rate, that's $3,000 of tax. If you have one or two or three children and we give you a $1,000 tax credit, you could end up with a very marginal single-digit tax rate to no taxes whatsoever. That, to me, is a middle-income tax cut because you're going to owe no taxes potentially.
But you're also eliminating the estate tax.
We are. But we're also eliminating deductions. We're eliminating the deductions that were added to the tax legislation over years to favor the wealthy. The wealthy have deductions. Middle-income people and lower-income people don't have deductions. Wealthy people have deductions. So we're going to make wealthier people pay taxes on a much broader swath of their income.
And will it be revenue neutral, or are you comfortable adding to the deficit in the short term in order to increase growth?
As I said, we're working with the House. We're working with the Senate. We had a great meeting with the leadership last week. We are going to go through the tax plan in its entirety. We don't know what it's going to score yet because we're going to work on very specific details. We're going to eliminate as many of the deductions as we can. We think we're going to get them all out. If we get them all out, I'm pretty positive this is going to score quite favorably.
You believe you can make it up by simply eliminating deductions? The giant fall difference between the tax cuts and what you need to make up for them. You can do that with deductions?
We can broaden the base significantly. So we're going to tax a lot more revenue and a lot more income, but we're going to tax it at a lower rate. Instead of taxing at a high rate, but subtracting a lot to get to the taxable income, we're going to tax a much bigger number at a smaller rate. Yes, we believe we can make that work.
What's it like for you, Gary Cohn? What's a nice registered Democrat boy doing working in a Republican administration?
Who worked for Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, who worked for Goldman Sachs.
I'm working here to drive the president's agenda to make America better for all Americans.
I know that, but what's it like for you personally? Are you enjoying this job? That we hear reports about warring factions within the White House. It's Game of Thrones, it's House of Cards, it's them versus us. Really, tell us what it's like for you.
Look, I came from a very team-oriented environment. The White House is no different. We're a team-oriented environment. The president has put together a phenomenal team of advisors. The president likes lots of different opinions, which is the exact way I have worked my entire life. I'm used to working in an organization where people are allowed to and encouraged to express their opinions and express their views.
So disagreement is good?
Disagreement is good. This White House is no different. The president wants to hear everyone's opinion. He wants to hear both the pros and cons of every decision, and he encourages that. And I'm very comfortable in that situation.
First of all, we're pleased to be in the White House.
Yes.
And there's much to talk about, so thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Pleased to have you in the White House.
Yeah.
Thank you.
To have
Really
you
appreciate you getting up so early. Thanks a lot.
We will talk.
This is not early.
Been getting up this early for a long time.